Hello and welcome to my stamp studio. So I just wanted to take a minute to apologize for Stuart's barking in yesterday's video. I have to let all of you know that he was only doing his job. He takes his neighborhood watching very seriously, and it's always eager to let me know when the UPS man has arrived. So my sweet Stewie was simply letting me know that my pre-order from the new catalog had arrived. Woo! So many new fun things to play with. And all I have to say is get ready. The new catalog, if you haven't already seen it, is spectacular. And I can't wait to start creating. If you haven't received the new catalog and would like one, shoot me an email and I'll get one off to you. I know there are some in the mail currently that haven't arrived quite yet, but should be arriving soon. For those of you who missed yesterday's video, you have joined me here on day 2 of challenging myself to the task of creating male, guy, masculine cards. So today, again, I will be creating with the Country Club DSP from page 47 of the mini catalog, which is part of an entire suite of products. But again, I will focus on this fabulous paper. So yesterday, I revealed the geometrical side of this paper, but today I'm going to embrace the golfer side. As I said, I'm not a golfer, but today's projects not only work for a golfer you might have in your life, but I feel also for any masculine card occasion. So the first sheet you see here is a nice little fine lined images of male and female golfers, which I like a lot. And you can see that they could be cut in 3x4 pieces so that you would be able to isolate one of these out, colored in perhaps with your Stampin' Blends. Even colored pencils would work nicely with this too, and be able to use that as the layering on the front of your card. I think it would also be nice, you could even use 2. You could cut one of these out, you could cut this one out, and you actually could have them overlap each other a little bit on the front of the card, so it looked like the trees were in the background of the golfer. So I think that's a nice option with this DSP. The back side of this one was this, okay, this beautiful, bright, bold, triangular paper. All right, the next one I want to share with you is this one, these cute little golf flags. I like that they put them in rows so that you could easily take and cut these, that you could use them to accent the top or the bottom of a card. Again, in all these beautiful very golfy colors, right? The other side of this one, just to remind you, was this little fine blue argyle print. Then the next one, if you look at too long, you can get a little dizzy. I feel like it's kind of like Where's Waldo? But anyway, it has crushed curry background with these little black golf carts, which makes me think Hawkeye, right? But really cute in these little rows here, I guess I should say. And then you could snip and cut those to be able, again, use those at the top or a bottom or even as a background of a card. But it's pretty busy with all those little golf carts on it. The back side to this one was the green plaid. And then this one I really like. So this one really makes me think of fine golfing. I guess, is that what it's called? I don't know. Professional golfing, I guess I should say. Anyway, it's kind of got these medallion-like images here. The golf I like on there, the ball here, and then a little golf cart here too. This also goes with our tag punch, which I think is a fun punch too that coordinates nicely with this set. The back side of this one is the gray argyle. Okay. Then the next one, again, gets kind of busy, but I think it's fun. In person, it's very pretty. Navy blue, just playing on a little bit of white. And then it also coordinates nicely with our punch. And I'm trying to look up the punch here super quick because I want to give you the right name of it. I've been using it a lot lately. Tailored Tag. Punch. And so I don't know if you can make that out, but the design is actually, with these little golf clubs in here, kind of is in the same shape as that tailored punch. So you could punch out a lot of those and layer them to make kind of a background for your card. Okay? The other side to this one is this beautiful argyle paper. Love this. And then the last one in this designer series paper of the golf side images is this one. And what doesn't say golf more than this? Green background, grassy looking with the golf balls and the cute little colored tees in it. Okay, so really cute. So, what other techniques could I use to make some great male-themed cards with this DSP? I went to a classic technique and one that I haven't done in a while, but surely spoke to this paper, especially this golfer's side. The fun shirt origami fold technique. These golf images and these plaids, geometrical designs gave way to what I think is another perfect technique to this fun fold, and so I rolled with it. And I remembered why this is such a great technique for masculine cards. And if you have attended any of my past classes, I'm talking probably years ago, we have done this. So that's why I decided to pull it out and do it again, because it has been quite some time since I have used it. So we're going to start our first project with this particular DSP. And I'm going to start with a piece that measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay? Now, if you wanted to, you could take your ruler and you could take your pencil and you could find your center here. The golf balls and the tees are going to be the front side of my shirt. Believe it or not, they are. I'm embracing the golf side of this paper today. So if you went in here and you measured, it's 3 3/4, and half of 3 3/4 is 1 3/4. I took and made a little pencil line, and then I took and I drew a pencil line all the way down the middle. And you probably can't see that with the camera, but it is there. Okay? So then you come in from this side and you meet up to that pencil line. Come over to this side, do the exact same thing. Okay? You do want to make sure that both of your ends are perfectly straight across. So if you have any snipping or trimming you need to do, go ahead and do that now. Then go ahead and flip it over. And in my paper trimmer, I went in and I scored at a 1/2 inch here. Okay? So I'll make sure I told you the right thing. Yep, 1/2 inch. Okay? Scored it on this side. I even flipped it over and scored it on that side, just so that I knew the score marks were nice and bold. Okay? Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to fold that back towards you, just like this. Then you're going to flip it over, and we're going to take these points down to the very center here where those papers met. And come in here, take your bone folder, and go ahead and give yourself a nice little crease there. Do the same thing over on this side. You're trying to make your two little collar points there meet. And then go ahead and give yourself a nice little fold over there. I even burnished up here at the collar, okay, just to make sure you have some nice defined folds there, okay? Now we're going to go to the other end, and I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of use it as my guide up here at the very corner of my DSP here, and I'm going to fold it in, and then go ahead and give myself a nice little fold here, okay? These are actually going to be your sleeves from the other side. So you do want the other side to match this one as much as possible, so that way your sleeves are the same size. So do the same thing. It's easier for me because I have this in my right hand. Come over here, hold the corner right here to help your paper find it, reach it over, and then go ahead and fold those down, okay? And when you flip it over, you can kind of check your sleeves here to see if they're the same size. This one might be a touch bigger, but I think it's okay. It's such a busy print of paper that I think it will forgive. So then you're going to hold your little collar up here. I just like to hold it with my thumb here, like that. Hold those two down. You're going to take and fold this in half, and then this goes right up underneath the corners of that collar. And you want to push that up in there as far as it'll go. You also want to center it from your little shoulder areas here. You want to center that as well, okay? Go ahead and lay it down on your work surface. I'm going to hold that with this finger here while I get my bone folder out, and I give myself a nice little crease, okay? And there I have the cutest little shirt. Isn't that adorable? So, to finish off my shirt, I thought it would be cute because I think it looks more like a polo shirt in this print. So I went ahead and found some green little mini buttons. And I'm going to I put a glue dot on the back of them, going to come up in here, and these might be a little big, but I think they look adorable. Right up here, butted together, just like that, to make that look like a little mini polo shirt. And then you can take it and attach it to your card. Now here's my sample card. I did just the green plaid on this one. I made a placard behind there and then just put 3 little buttons on there. And then in this one, I don't know if you can see it, but I put a little pocket. I just cut out a little mini square and popped it up on a dimensional just to give it a little bit of something different there, a little pocket on a plaid shirt. It's a navy base, garden green little strip going back behind, crushed curry that I ran through the Argyle folder that goes along with this suite of products. And then I did use the greeting, "Thank you for making a difference in my life," which comes from the By the Dock stamp set, another one that I think is really nice for Father's Day or mail cards. And then I used the Framelit, this white section here. The Framelit comes from the So Sentimental bundle. Now, this is not any greetings in here that I thought worked good for masculine cards. However, when I look at these dies, I think these are fabulous for masculine cards. I love these rectangles. I love these little ornamental. Some of them look a little feminine, but if you use them just the right way and layer them just right, I think you can get a nice little male design element to be able to use on your cards. I took just a little bit of the DSP here because I had some little scraps and I didn't want to waste any of it, and thought that looked really kind of cute on there too to pull some more color into this card. Okay? The inside, again, these little scraps, don't throw them away. I went ahead and just anchored them up here in these corners of the card. Okay? So I thought these turned out really cute. This is what I'm calling my little mini shirt card. Okay? Okay. The next one I'm going to show you is a shirt card that the collar does not match the shirt. Okay? So we're going to start out with a piece of Designer Series paper that measures 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, this one is really easy. I'm going to take this and put it into my paper trimmer, and as I mentioned yesterday, I use the bottom edge a lot of times for trimming instead of the top, so don't let that confuse you. It's just the way I've learned. And I'm going to take and put my DSP in to the 1/2 inch mark here on this side, on the right side of my paper. I'm going to get my scorer out of the way. I need my cutter for this. I'm going to come in here, and on my ruler side, I can see that this is 12 1/2, and I'm going to cut up 1 inch to 11 1/2. So no matter what your paper cutter says, you just look at your measurements, and you're just going to cut in 1 inch. Okay? So if I take this, 12 1/2, I cut up to 11 1/2. Up here, my paper measures at edge measures at 8 1/2, so I'm going to cut into 9 1/2, okay? Into 9 1/2. And that's how you got your cut-ins here, okay? I put the paper cutter down. We're done for it for right now. Then I'm going to take both sides at the same time, and I'm going to fold those in so that the points here of my collar match right here, okay? Then take your bone folder and give yourself a nice little fold. And there you have it. Okay? You've given yourself a different color collar than the rest of the shirt. Okay? I'm going to take some glue dots. And I'm going to attach one right here. And attach another one under the other side to hold my collar in place. Okay? Now this looks kind of plain. So I want to dress it up just a little bit and make it look a little more masculine. So I went ahead and took a strip of the Night of Navy, and I took another little smaller strip of Whisper White and attached those together there, okay? And I actually think I'm going to put it this way. I think it looks a little cuter that way. I'm going to go ahead and put some multi-purpose glue on the back side of this. And it doesn't take much, remember? And then I'm just going to kind of bend my collar out just a little bit so that I can weasel it right underneath there. And I should be able to, because those glue dots, remember, were just in on the or in farther from the edge of the paper. And then you do want to make sure you get this straight, so I just attached that there at the top there, and then I'm just going to eyeball it here to make it straight. And go ahead and give it a little push here. I have a little extra down here at the bottom. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to trim off that extra. Okay. Now, I think it would be really cute to add a little pocket. So I took Night of Navy again, and just a little bit of Whisper White strip across the top. And like the first card, I thought it would also be fun to put a few buttons on there. So I found some of these grayish colored buttons. That actually there's gray in this paper, so I thought that looked really nice. And for what I know about fancy, expensive men's golf shirts, which isn't very much, I, though, thought this looked really sweet and looked like a kind of an expensive man's golf shirt. Now, something I did a little bit different with this one is I brought in my envelope cutter. So my envelope board is no longer available from Stampin' Up, but I will not get rid of it because I use it to make envelopes, as you see when I mail you things, and then also for the paper cutter. So I'm going to weasel that right up in there, go ahead and give myself a punch, and I just gave that little shoulder there a little bit of a rounded edge, which I think makes a huge difference with this. Okay? Then you're ready to put it on your card. So here's my sample card. I used another one of the prints from this, which I just love. I actually like this print. For not being a golf person, I do like this print. I did the same thing. I took and I used some of the gray accent argyle paper to make a pocket and a little placard coming down with a little piece of black cardstock strip there and another one there. And then this again is where your collar does not match your shirt pattern. Okay, so I thought these turned out really cute as well for a different little idea for the shirt cards. The shirt fold, I guess I should say. Okay, now the next one I want to show you is very similar to the last one, except it's when your collar will actually match your shirt. Okay, so for the shirt I chose this little argyle pattern, and where it's the same measurements. It's actually, well, no, this one's actually a little bit longer. Sorry, this is 4 by 5 7/8. Okay. So I'm going to bring my paper cutter back in here, and on the longer side, the 5 7/8 side, you're going to be doing the scoring and cutting. I'm going to take the right side of my paper and line it up with the 1 inch, half inch mark, okay? And then, I don't want to get these mixed up, I'm going to do my score blade. I'm going to go ahead and score that. Then I'm going to take and push my paper over to the 1 inch. And then I'm going to do what I did from the last card. I'm going to look here. I know I'm at 12 and a half here, and I'm going to cut up to 11 and a half. Okay? So go ahead and, I got to be able to see this. It's kind of hard with the camera. There, we made her. Okay, then I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to come up here, and again, I know that 8 and a half is where my paper stops here, so I want to cut into the 9 and a half. Okay? Just like that. All right? And now we're done with the cutter. That's all we needed. So the first thing I'm going to do is take and fold on my score line there. And then I am going to turn it back over. And again, I'm going to take these, and I want to do them at the same time. Something I didn't show you on the other two cards is sometimes it's good just to break up the paper fibers a little bit. So I'm going to take this with my bone folder just a little bit and come in here along that scored edge and really kind of break up some of those fibers. It makes it a little bit easier then for you to come in here and make these folds, okay? And I hope you can see that from my big hands there. I do want to make sure they're even before I go ahead and fold them down. Once they're even, I'm going to hold them with my left hand, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and come right up and make those creases. Okay? Right like that. And there you have your cute little collar. Okay? Now, something I thought would be really cute is we haven't made a card with a tie. So, I looked up how to make a paper tie. And so that's what I'm going to show you next. We're going to add a nice little cute tie to this paper, or this shirt. So I start out with a 4x4 sheet of DSP. I want this blue plaid to be my tie fabric, okay? So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to work from the back side. Again, take my bone folder and hold it here in the corner so that I can bring this in. Do the same on the other side. Have them come in and meet at that point. Give yourself a nice little burnish. Then I'm going to flip this over, and I want to fold this back. But just to make sure that I fold it back the right amount, I want to bring this over here to my little paper shirt, and I want to just kind of eyeball exactly where that tie is going to land. You want to give yourself just, about a 1/4 of an inch down here, and then kind of eyeball it up here where the 2 points of your collar here go together, okay? So I kind of have that eyeballed. It's not a perfect mathematical thing, so, but you do want it to just kind of not look too short. However, I think there could be some really funny cards made with short ties, because I think there's men out there that wear their ties too short, but that's a topic for another video. Anyway, all right, so then after I have that fold, I'm going to go ahead and take my point here, and I'm going to fold it up so that it meets right there at the top, right up here, okay? And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it again, so that this part is lined up with the top edge, okay? Now, I can go in here and give myself a nice little burnish on all these lines, scores, okay? Now, the whole reason you did the point up to this was just to basically give you a half mark for this, okay? This is the piece you really want. So, take your little point tab here, pull it, and that's actually going to get tucked back behind. But what you've made yourself is this is going to be what represents the little Windsor knot, okay, in our tie. So now I'm going to take it, I'm going to flip it over. I have my little tab here, which I want here. And I'm going to take these sides here, and I'm going to fold them into the center now. Go ahead and give myself a nice crisp fold. Same thing up here as you bring back around that Windsor knot. Come around here to this side and do the exact same thing. Give yourself a nice push on that. Go ahead and work in up here at the neck, all these little folds. And as you turn it over, you see that we've created that little Windsor knot appearance at the top and our cute little tie. Isn't that adorable? So then I'm going to take it, kind of line it up over here. I do like the tie, the top of the tie, to be right at the top of the collar, where the collar meets here, okay? I think it's nice because it really makes it look a little more realistic, I think, because it is tucked in there, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to put my tie down first. I think that works a little bit better. I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue, and notice I'm not putting it down here, okay? I only want it up here at the top. I'm being fairly generous with it, and I am going to stick just a little bit here. It doesn't do any good to put any in this area here because that's never going to adhere anyway. It's popped up with all the folds. Then I'm going to take and press on my collar here and have it just meet up. Remember, my collar is not adhered yet, but kind of get that where you want it. Hold it, and then I might turn it to myself here just so I can make sure that my tie is straight down on my shirt. And then go ahead and just give it a nice firm press. Make sure that glue is sticking, just like that. Then I'm going to take my glue dots again, and then also because I have a bit of a bulk here at the top where that tie is, I thought that mini dimensionals worked really well here. Okay, so I'm going to take a little mini dimensional and I'm putting it, maybe a half-ish inch, a little less than, in. Go ahead and peel those off. And then I'm going to put a glue dot down at the bottom corner. And if you wanted to be extra careful, you're extra diligent with your adhesive, I guess I should say, go ahead and put one at the top too if you wanted to. Okay? Then I'm going to fold this over, making sure my corners meet, and come in here and give it a nice press. Now, because this is 2 layers here, this wants to pop up. So I can take another glue dot, work it in here, and then press, okay? And that helps close that up a little bit so that it looks a little bit more finished. If anybody ever found little mini buttons, wouldn't that be cute to put them up here and make it like a little Oxford shirt? Wouldn't that be cute? Little buttons right there. But there you go. There you have our little shirt. And I thought it'd be fun to pull in a different card base. This color doesn't coordinate with the combo, however, or with this DSP, but I think it does. So this DSP has a little bit different green in here, and to me it just said Granny Apple Green. So I went ahead and that's what I did. So I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back side of it. I hope you guys give these cards a try. I just think they're cute. I really had fun making them. But obviously you can do buttons and decorate your shirts however fit the person that you are giving it to. It kind of fits the personality of whoever you're giving the card to. Then I pulled the Happy Birthday out of By the Dock stamp set and just put a little dimensional on the back side of it after, I punched it out with a little circle punch there. And I thought this made a super cute happy birthday card for father, okay? A masculine male, okay? Here's another one that I made for Father's Day. So I thought this one turned out super cute too. This is one of my favorite papers from this DSP series. And I used the World's Best Father from the Itty Bitty Greetings, which I shared yesterday, is the only stamp set I have something that refers to father. So I've done an awful lot of Father's Day cards without one that says Happy Father's Day. So I feel like I've really challenged myself in that way. Something else I wanted to show you was another card like this used with a tie, and it's smaller. So all I did was decrease my dimensions that I used for this card down by 1 inch, roughly. This was 3 by 5 for this shirt base, and then I went down to 3 by 3 for the tie, and then just put World's Best Father. And instead of taking up the whole background of the card, it just took up a side, so it allowed me to put a little strip of accent there with the Argyle folder, and just had a little bit different look, I think, than the other ones. So I thought these turned out really cute. Like I said, it was an old technique that I was happy to revisit here and make some fun cards. I do feel like this DSP was perfect for this. So thank you for joining me again today to show off this great DSP. And this was a classic fun fold for mail cards. Tomorrow's video will get us back to nature with some fun beachy mail cards. So I hope you can join me then, and take care.